Hi, it's Jnwynn with Scraptastic Yarns Podcast. Today is my normal podcast. And of course, as you know, the only finished item that I actually have is the little panda bear hat. I've not finished with the Tunisian shawl. I'm continuing to work on that. Continuing to work on my whip with the knitted shawl. And, I hope that you enjoy the next little bit. I did make a stop at someplace special. Was having a sale, $5 a bag. And I kind of had to get some batting for those quilts. The quilts, I've not got them finished. I've got them quilted, but I need to put some binding on the quilts. So I will show those to you tomorrow in tomorrow's Vlogtober. Vlogist? Oh, Ruthie, Pink Pumpkin. I watched your video. Yes, I giggled. It was fantastic. If you've not seen Ruthie's video from yesterday, her Vlogtober fail, go see it. It's funny. I think I laughed pretty hard watching that, and I needed it. Today I showed you how I put the quilts together using pull noodles, and the bed. The apartment we live in is pretty small. There's no real space to lay out quilts to put them together. So I had to come up with something that would work for me. Now, it may not work for you, or you may think, aha, why didn't I think of that? I don't know. When I use the board, the insulation board, I will tell you many times if I have a twin size, I may use the large bull-size clamps to clamp my backing onto the board, then lay my batting, and then put my top on it, and then pin it, and then just move it down. And that's, now that I've started using the pull noodles, I like using the noodles a little bit better, so I do that more often than I do the clamps anymore. But when you're doing a queen or a king, you are going to have to use the clamps with that system that I have. You know, there are times I can't get to the fire hall to get those things put together that I want to get quilted, so I will do it at home the best way that I can. It's makeshift, but it works for me. Okay. This is where we're going today. Come on. Great sale. Hope yours is doing the same thing. Now that you've seen where we stopped at this morning, before we went to get the batting, I'm going to show you some of the items I got. Got a gray t-shirt, and yes, I know it's short sleeve, but with my embroidery machine, I like to do some embroidery on the t-shirts, but I've never done any for me. I've done them as gifts for family members, so I thought, why not get a couple of t-shirts to do it for me? And then I got a nice sweatshirt. And another t-shirt that I will add some embroidery to. I really like the looks of this t-shirt. Now mind you, the bags were $5. As much as you could cram into a bag. Some of those ladies really know how to roll things up to get them nice and tight. The lady that did my bag did as well. But even if this was the only item that I got, because it is marked $5 to begin with, just this shopping trip alone was worth it. It is a nice vest with a beautiful interior, and it is just beautiful. I don't have enough vests like that, and I like looking for them, but I don't like paying, the full amount that you see for someone my size. This was great because even at $5 or $4.99 by itself, it was fantastic, but I got another couple of things. And with those issues that I've been having with the laundromat, why not? Okay. That is it for this part of the podcast. The rest of it will be explaining the insulation board, how that is made, how I did that, as well as the noodles, and then I will show you how I put it together on the bed. I am also going to provide a link. One of our local historians is part of a paranormal group. His name is Lou Bernard, and he has been writing stories. And this story, it caught my eye because of the title. And the title is Ghost. I think it was Ghost is Arrested in Jersey Shore. JS, which is short for Jersey Shore. And he goes on and tells you about the story of it. The paranormal group is going to go into that area, and they are going to do a little reading thing. If you ever get the chance to hear Lou Bernard speak, go to his talks. I've been to several of them. He is a great historian. He loves to tell these stories, and he likes the spooky things. This time of the year, Lock Haven puts on a spooky tour walk where you walk through town. He tells you all the stories of all the ghosts that are in the different mansions, and some of these houses are very old, so you get to hear some of those things. And then he will also tell you about the paranormal group that has gone in and done some readings and some things there. And it's quite interesting to hear that side of things. So I'm going to leave a link for that story so that you can read it, plus another link for today's story in the newspaper so you can read it if you want to. Other than that, there's nothing else. I just want to remind everybody to choose to be kind. I want to thank all my new viewers for joining me. I hope you're enjoying this ride. I know it's a little different with the Vlogtobers and the Vlogmas and those kind of things, rather than getting a weekly podcast. But it's always a lot of fun to see if you can keep up with it. I missed a few days along the way, but that's okay. There's no reason to stress yourself out if you can't get a daily vlog out. Come on, people, just move on. And I also want to thank my older viewers, those who have stuck with me for this long. I hope that there will be more interesting and good things for you to see in the future. But thank you to all of you that have joined us in this podcast. It has been very interesting. I enjoy doing this. I'm having a lot of fun with it. And of course, like I said, it's just enjoyable. Don't forget, the sale in the Etsy shop ends November the 2nd. Also, if you liked what you saw here and you're not a subscriber, hit the subscribe button and then hit the bell so you'll be notified for each time that there is a new podcast or something put up, whatever it may be. Don't forget the Tunisian Tuesday series I have going. Today is the third in this one, where I talk about the shawl that I've been working on, and you'll get to see that little bit of lace panel, and then some decreasing, how to decrease from there. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you again next time. See you tomorrow. Bye. I did want to tell you about the shelving that is behind me while I'm putting the quilt together. That shelving holds not only books that I'm reading, it holds some mementos, but it also holds things that we don't have any place to store otherwise, as well as bingo prizes for the bingo games at the hospital. Next to that behind me is a mess of clothes. I am doing 3 things at once today. Putting quilts together. Well, it was yesterday and today. Putting quilts together, going through my short sleeves t-shirts and long sleeves, trading places, putting, getting the long sleeves out for the winter, fall, the season that's coming. So, the bedroom's a little bit of a mess. And at the end of the bed, I have a cedar chest, which I've got some of those things piled up that I need to change out into the drawers or in the dresser, as well as a different area where I store things for clothing. So, yeah, it's a mess. Well, takes a while to get through it. So I just wanted to pre-warn you that's what that is back there. I wanted to explain a little bit about this board. This board is 1/2 inch of insulation. And what we did is, it is a big sheet. So we had them cut it in half. And then I asked them simply to cut down the center, but not all the way through. And you can use just a regular utility knife for that. And he asked me why I didn't want him to cut it all the way through. I said because I want it to be hinged. And then I'll take duct tape and go around all the edges, which is basically what we did. Made a hinge so that it can fold and it would last longer. I have used this board for blocking items. And in the bedroom here, we have a fan that we run every night regardless. I need it for the white noise. And then the pull noodles, you'll notice that it is cut. And that was simply because I didn't have a pull noodle big enough. I actually got these pull noodles at the Dollar Tree for $1. It is sitting on 1/2 inch PVC pipe. No. It's a 1/2 inch? Yep. 1/2 inch PVC pipe with the end caps. And if you get the PVC pipe in the full 10 feet, use the pipe cutter, cut it in half. That's what I use for twin size, crib size to put together. I do have some baseboards that are made of PVC plastic that are flat and they are longer. So if I need to put a queen or a king together, I can. And generally I'll use the table for that in my sewing room because there's a little bit more room to do that. And I'm telling you, we live in a small apartment. You can see how crowded this room is. And this room is simply, when we
rented this sight unseen, landlady told us we could put a king size bed in here. And as you can see, if we'd put a king size in, we'd have been jumping into bed from the doorway. There wouldn't have been very much room to walk around. So, yeah, that's basically the tools that I use to put quilts together. This works for twin size right here without the baseboards. Baseboards I use for king and queen to put together. And you do basically the same thing, only you're just going to, and then I just use painter's tape or masking tape to tape the edges along the baseboard. Roll it up the same way, and you unroll pin as you go. And then as you can use one of the boards to roll up the quilt. You know, once you've pinned everything, you can roll it up on it so that you don't have it hanging off the edge of the table, which is what I do. And yeah, it's when you live in small spaces, don't have countertops, you know, like a kitchen breakfast nook countertop to pin your quilts on. You have to come up with something, and that's just what I came up with. So, hope you enjoyed that little bit. And that, folks, is how you put it together with pull noodles and a little board.